All right, man. I hope y'all having an amazing day today. So we got Sneako obliterates the Redpill Godfather, man. I talked about it in a video a while ago, and is this the one with him and Destiny? Go. Yeah. Not as enthusiastic today. All right, then. I hope y'all are having an amazing day today. So we got Sneako obliterates the Redpill Godfather, man. So I talked about it in a video probably about a couple of days ago. Sneako went on Fresh and Fit. He was talking, and he basically was saying how he disagreed with the steps that a guy, I think his name like Rolo, he posted on Twitter in a response video to Ben Shapiro, or a response tweet, I'm sorry, a response tweet to Ben Shapiro, breaking down the steps you need to take in order to become a high value man as fast as possible. And I agree with Sneako what he was saying. I was like, bro, Sneako putting in work. I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? But Sneako going through like a character arc or something, bro. I don't know what this is, but I fuss with it. So what we're gonna do? Playback did this video, man. Go check out the original video if you want to. But look, go through this reaction with me. We're gonna go and listen and see what Playback has to say about this situation.
So a couple videos ago, we talked about the 8 quickest ways to become a high value man. Now the man himself who made that tweet in there, he gave us 2 very pivotal information. So 1 was a vasectomy and 2 was avoiding child creation. Now we did a lot of speculation on what exactly he meant by that. So we actually have the man himself, the Godfather Redpill, as well as Sneako and Destiny to give him a little bit pushback. Let's see what he meant by that.
You want to be a high value man. If you want to get to that apex level as fast as you can, that's it. How is that not the best way to go about it? Okay. So the point of that whole tweet, which was basically a throwaway tweet that everyone started like snowballing into something else. I've got Ben Shapiro coming at me. I got Matt Walsh coming at me. I got Lauren Chen coming at me. I got all these people off of Daily Wire because it was just easy, low-hanging fruit for these guys because they think that that's what the fucking manosphere is all about. And it's not, okay? That was not fucking advice. Everything that is on Twitter.
Yes,
that wasn't advice,
bro. You don't get to just pretend like you shut out the tweet, but then you didn't want nothing to do with it. Literally, like you said, these are the 8 things to become a high value man. That was quite literally advice. Why would you shit out advice that important? Why not take time to consider all the potential ramifications? Imagine a whole bunch of niggas like, oh shit, the Godfather said, let me just go get some vasectomies. Start snipping away at their penis.
It was a throwaway tweet, bro. You don't get it, bro.
That's insane. You can't just walk that back. Why don't you just say I was wrong, bro?
So again, just a quick reminder of what is not advice. Do not get married. Avoid family creation. Vasectomy in your 20s. Live consistently. Eliminate all sedation. Learn game and networking. Play to your strengths and build wealth. Resist easing up on your focus. Does that not all sound like advice?
You gave bad advice. Just say like, after reconsidering it, I was wrong. But instead, you're choosing to pretend as if though like, oh, I didn't even mean nothing truly by it. When I told niggas to not get married, I was like, that was a throwaway tweet. I was just throwing that advice away. Really, at the end of the day, I was just throwing it on Twitter. A bunch of people are just using the internet as an opportunity to grift and make money from different factions by making people more extreme. So like they'll just sell you on an ideology and they don't choose to explore beyond that because that's not what's gonna sell. And so it's like there's no nuance. It's just like let's subscribe to these beliefs blindly. And niggas like this guy's gonna take advantage of it. Like sure, he probably says things that are useful for men, but I'm saying when you can't even admit when you gave bad advice, like how is that a nigga you're supposed to take seriously? You don't. But it's a whole bunch of people trying to monetize the fact that they could potentially build an audience by grifting. And the part that gets me upset is there's actual expert. Like it's one thing to be an expert and have an opinion. Jordan Peterson is an expert. He was a professional for decades. He has an opinion. Whether or not you agree with his opinion, disagree is irrelevant. But he's not. He has a wealth. He has a career of. Point is like there's just niggas that don't have titles. They be in their 20s, run around like Pearl, and I don't know who the fuck this nigga is.
Oh man, throwing a jab at Pearl.
That was not fucking advice. Everything that is on Twitter is not advice. Okay.
Was that a joke?
No, it was not necessarily a joke, but it's like, let's just say it's a hypothetical, okay?
A hypothetical.
For just 5 seconds, okay? This is no joke here because everything that's come out of both of you guys' mouth has been nothing but distraction and misdirection because it's easy clicks for you. So here's the whole thing.
This nigga got typed.
Bro, the comment roasted.
But again, if you go back to the tweet, majority of that tweet would not be deemed as a hypothetical. Majority of that tweet are things in which these men preach routinely. They make full videos about the explanation behind most of the things that were on that list. It becomes a hypothetical because you made a hyperbolic statement that you now do not want to get behind anymore because you sound crazy from making that sentiment. But y'all have made endless videos, recommendations. I don't know if you don't call it advice anymore, but y'all have made several videos explaining the importance of majority of things that were in that tweet. But now all of a sudden it's a hypothetical. That makes no sense.
That would make all your advice hypotheticals, champ. Yeah.
When I'm talking about get a vasectomy, or don't be concerned with
when he's mad, his glasses get uneven on his nose.
Bro, you know, I'm gonna pause for 1 second. I didn't think I would see the day where you got Destiny and Sneako pairing up on a common ground, and they talk a lot. I don't know if they like cool like that, like friends cool, but they're on the same side. Like, look at that, they got on black. They like coming for the fucking funeral. This is hilarious, bro. Let's keep going.
Let him finish. Okay. I'm really mad about this, bro.
Shall we keep going? Are we just gonna have jokes thrown in here?
Really heated about this.
Is that what I get to? Is that what I get to do it? Okay, so here's the deal. When I'm talking about this, when I'm throwing this out there, why wouldn't you do that? Would you not have been more successful, Sneako, had you not had to go through certain things? If you had a kid right now,
advice or not?
You would be playing the game with a handicap. You would be playing the game with your fucking hands tied behind your back.
Okay, so
there are guys right now who I have a lot of respect for, and I'm sure you have a lot of respect for as well, who all have kids, but you know what they try to do? Try to keep it under wraps.
Okay,
try to make sure nobody knows about kids. Okay.
So what is advice?
So here's okay. First off, this is not advice. Everything that is on my show or is on Twitter is not automatically advice. Now, but here you have this set automatically that if it comes out of your mouth, it's automatically advice. It can't just be data. It can't just be statistics. It can't be, nothing can be just delivered sort of like, here's some data for you to look at, okay? Nothing can be.
It's not data. Data would have numbers and support, and there would be a wealth of evidence to back up.
You just gave a list of things.
Are you trying to convince us that's not, do you think we're like fucking dumb?
I don't know.
Nigga, we're not dumb, nigga. We all look at that. We didn't just learn the English language, pussy. Like, we know that's oh my God. I can't sit here trying to listen to this nigga tell me, yo, this is not an energy drink. It's just a drink with a bunch of chemicals in it. It's not, like, bro, this is not petroleum jelly, bro. It's not petroleum. And I'm sitting here looking at petroleum jelly, bro. Come on, bro. This might work if you're under the age of 10. I promise it might.
But this is, again, like you said, them just trying to sell this image and this ideology to a bunch of people. And then when they get caught on how ridiculous it sounds, now they're trying to backpack and say that the list of things that I was explaining on mic that should be done, all of a sudden that's no longer advice. It's a hypothetical.
Bro,
like, what are we saying right now?
You are a serial advice giver. You give advice. That's what you do. Your purpose is to try and teach people your ideology.
Or how to be a high value man.
So if a lot of what you do is advice, you get on these podcasts and you give plenty of advice, then why when you do it on Twitter, it's a hypothetical? Why when it's finally a take that people don't agree with, it's a hypothetical? Shut the fuck up.
Because if everybody agreed with what you're saying, you
would be like,
yeah, I gave great advice.
Over the fucking
bruh, I'm gonna say this though before he keep going. Every time I see Rolo talk, he be like super emotional, bro. Like, and look at like Destiny and Sneako over here chilling, like hard chilling, like they like just here for the party. Oh, I said the funeral. I'm sorry, the funeral. You know what I'm saying? I will say this though, it's interesting. I don't know if they're gonna put Myron in there, but Myron and like they would never stand on like what side of the fence they was on. They were kind of giving, you know, things always depends. But when Sneako asked yes or no, do they believe that you should have a vasectomy in your 20s? They would never say yes or no. And I'm like, bro, that's the same thing y'all do to the women on the show. Yeah, you ask them a question, and if they don't say yes or no, y'all degrade them for it. You got Rolio, you got Rolo over here being super emotional. You got the other two guys being extremely calm. And so I feel like at the end of the day, I haven't seen a lot of accountability in the sector that promotes or insinuates that a lot of people don't take accountability, and I don't know, bro. Let's keep watching.
That everybody wants to take it out of context, which is exactly what you guys have been doing.
So what is it? Can you tell me what that tweet was if it wasn't advice?
It's not advice. What it is it's okay. It's saying that this is the most extreme way to do things. Okay, here's the quickest path to. If I told you this, look, if I said the quickest way for you to make $1 million
Like literally, like putting it on the screen is even worse. It's even worse. It's even like when you put it on the screen, it's even worse when he says it, bro.
That sounds like advice.
Is to go steal it from the bank or go to steal it. Does that mean I'm telling you to go steal it? If I tell you to go fucking jump off a cliff, are you gonna go jump off a cliff?
Right,
I'm also, by the way,
even if that was true though, you being who you are, you had to put that context in that tweet. You didn't say nothing until you got the backlash from it, and a lot of people were disagreeing. If you feel that way, you got to say that in the tweet. Say this is an extreme way, but it can be whatever. Like the what he's trying to explain now, he didn't say that until now. You know what I'm saying? But
by the way, here's the other thing: is I'm also responding to Dr. Richard Reeves in this as well.
Okay, there's a lot of context.
Richard Reeves started. I thought Ben Shapiro started.
All the rest of the list, you're equating vasectomy to lifting, game, play to your strength, resisting up on easing your focus. The rest of it sounds like general advice.
Okay, well let's say so let me ask you. So is it the vasectomy part that's throwing you off?
Really genuine good advice, right? The rest of it.
Is it the vasectomy part?
Yeah,
do you agree with pretty much everything else except for the vasectomy part?
The first three is weird because then I don't even know what the red pill idea of a high value man is. Is it just being rich? Like, what's the point of having all this money and not having a family? Why be that rich? The guy who's always grinding. Whoa, Brandon Carter doesn't have to do his laundry. Sick. What else are you going to do with your life?
Right. Maybe this is actually meant so that you'll get it. You'll have a freaking epiphany about how all the shit that you have to sacrifice to get to that in the first place. What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to live the kind of life, let's say, like a Brandon Carter is, where you're going to outsource your entire life? Or are you going to actually have kids? Is that something that's a priority for you? Because I will tell you right now that if you follow this if you were to actually follow this list right here, that is the fastest way for you to get to a point where you are more high value.
Which is
so
what
advice.
Which is what you try and teach people to do.
That's advice.
What the fuck are we talking
if you follow these lists of things to do, you will. That's advice. So Jesus, you're literally saying the things that you're like giving the definition of advice without accepting the fact that you are advising that this is advice, right? All right. So Howard, Sneako is getting to this point where he's trying to figure out if you're advising men or if you're saying to follow these steps of becoming a high value man in the quickest way possible. It sounds as if like we may be disagreeing on what it means to be a high value man. So Sneako then prompts the question, what exactly does it mean to be a high value man?
Which is a fantastic question.
It is.
We've been talking a lot.
Come from the Godfather.
What is your definition of a high value man?
It doesn't matter. That's not what I was talking about in this.
Isn't it literally what you're talking about? That's what
my God, that one doesn't matter. It's literally all you guys talk about is nonstop. Is advice. How does it not matter anymore? It mattered so much for 3 years. It lost relevance just like that over the course of this convo, and Thanos snapped.
The first part of the tweet is how to become a high value man.
The fastest way to become a high value man is to recognize the fact that you've got sacrifices to make. Okay.
So like what is that? Telling like stories from Vietnam. Like, just say, what is a high value man? It's the first part of the tweet. What does that mean?
You tell me what a high value man is. Because here's the thing: is it doesn't matter what I'm going to say is a high value man. You guys.
Because it's your tweet.
They wait for you to tell
it. It doesn't matter what I say is a high value man because everybody takes this. The point of
he deflecting so hard right now. Like, just tell him and then stand on whatever you sell. If that's your point, that's not your advice. So what is your advice to become a high value man? This is wild, bro.
The tweet is that everybody is going to take this and then insert their own definition of what a high value man is.
What if a high value man is having 12 kids when you're 16? Then your tweet doesn't work, does it? What if your definition of a high value man is being getting into a trade and having 5 kids by the time you're 22? Then it also high value man is being an esports professional.
You're absolutely making my point for me right here. Okay, this is what I'm saying.
My point is that high value man. You gave a list of 8 things. Do these 8 things to become a high value man. Do 1 through 8 to become A, and you're not defining what A is.
The fastest way to becoming a high.
Bruh, I don't mean to pause that much through, but I'm gonna tell you something about Destiny, bro. You can disagree and agree with like some of the stuff like he say I agree with. Some of it I don't, but I tell you what. He know how to debate, bro. I gotta give him props for that. He know how to make a point. If he has a point, he know how to make it. You gotta give the man props for that.
I actually think he's brain dead.
Yes, he's dumb, bro.
and and it's on. You know what's funny? It's like everything you say sounds good when you say it to people that agree with you, but once you say it to niggas that don't agree with you, like the shit begins to crumble. Like it doesn't hold up to scrutiny, bro. He's asking good questions.
I mean, they're good, like basic fundamental questions. And what's even scarier is that we've gotten this deep into this whole red pill manosphere space, and one of the fundamental foundational members of the manosphere cannot answer a very basic question to him. What does it mean to be a high value man? What is that? What does that mean?
It doesn't matter. That's not what I was talking about in this.
You can't then sit here and say that, oh, it doesn't really matter, when it's literally been the entire point of you giving advice to young men, you trying to mold young men. The whole concept of guiding men in a certain direction is to become a high value man. But when we ask you what does it mean, you now all of a sudden it doesn't matter. This is literally like one-on-one of just trying to sell someone an image or idea, like this big dream, and then you ask them, well, what is it at the what's at the end of this rainbow? What's at the end of the path? What is it that we're trying to accomplish? And they're gonna keep just pushing it forward and not really be very vague in semantics, because they want you to continue to go down this path so they can just keep leading you along to nothingness, bro.
Before one by one, what is a high value man?
That's a good point.
We can't have an argument if I don't even know what your definition
point is. The very fact that you're even asking this in the first place is the actual point of the fucking tweet. Okay, so if you're going to be a high value man with the fucking hands tied behind your back, then what is that? What does that mean to you? That's the point. This whole discussion is the point of the fucking tweet. You guys,
one of the tweet was, you've got some conception of a high value man.
What?
Here are 8 points that you think you need to do to get to it, and now you're getting blown the fuck up on the vasectomy thing, which you probably realize is fucking retarded, but you're too old and stubborn to walk back from it. That's the point of this conversation.
I'm not too stubborn to walk back from it, because the point of it was to get douche nozzles like yourself to have this conversation in the first.
Oh, what? They peeped it too. Oh, what? Go back.
Discussion is the point of the fucking tweet. You guys,
one of the tweet was, you've got some conception of a high value man. Here are 8 points that you think you need to do to get to it, and now you're getting blown the fuck up on the vasectomy thing, which you probably realize is fucking retarded, but you're too old and stubborn to walk back from it. That's the point of this conversation.
I'm not too stubborn to walk back from it, because the point of it was to get douche nozzles like yourself to have this conversation in the first place.
How old are you?
Douche nozzle, what the hell
You're a
is
weird
that?
one, Buckaroo. You're weird.
Bro, what? Douche nozzles.
God damn, bro.
Bro, I ain't never heard that word
It's
before.
the Godfather,
A douche
the
nozzle.
grandfather, whatever he is,
That's a new
of
word,
the red
man.
pill, bro.
You a douche nozzle,
Come
nigga.
on,
Douche
you're a
nozzle.
douche
Nah, I
nozzle.
fucking hate
What the-
douche
what is a
nozzle.
douche
You
nozzle, bro?
One
I ain't
thing
never
about me,
heard
bro,
that.
I got
Till
Fuck
today.
douche nozzles.
Man, fucking douche
Lame ass
nozzle.
nigga, bro. What are you talking about?
Boy, a douche nozzle.
on stream today.
Oh, douche nozzle.
Oh, douche
Hey,
nozzle,
man,
ass
nigga,
boy.
douche nozzle, man.
Douche
Y'all
nozzle, ass
understand
boy.
like how like just crazy this
Yeah.
is,
You
right?
have to
Yeah,
define.
shit,
That's you know what I
yeah,
realized.
buddy.
Even in my own relationships, like that actually is. That's a good point though. What they're saying is such a good point, because you don't even realize when it's happening. Sometimes you got different definitions of the same term. So the argument you're having, you will never see each other's POV because you weren't arguing about the same thing. So they're trying to just clarify definitions, and he's making it so complicated. All they're asking him is a simple question he's probably answered thousands of times before, but he's afraid to answer it. And this is the truth, because he knows it will not hold up to scrutiny.
Yes.
So he can't actually answer and say what's at the core of his fucking beliefs, because he knows it will crumble. That's fucking sad. You built your life around this ideology. You better get it together and fucking spit it out, nigga, on this podcast.
Damn, Asian heated,
Douche
bro.
nozzles? Yes. You guys are
Look
idiots.
at mine,
Why you guys come in
dying,
here
bro.
from Twitch stream? Like, how you guys are legitimate in all of this? I don't know, because everything I hear come out of you guys' mouth is just confident ignorance.
I'm
That's
actually-
like,
Bro, hold up, bro. Hold up. Look, I know, bro. Hold up. I'm gonna make this shit wide, bro. Y'all got this shit so funny. Let me make this shit wide for a second. Look at the comments on the left, bro. So mad, bro. He getting flamed in the comment. People actually say douche nozzle. Bro, I never in my life think I've heard the word douche nozzle. Like, who the fuck says that?
I don't know, because everything I hear come out of you guys' mouth is just
That's
confident ignorance.
hilarious.
I'm
That's what I like
asking,
from
no, Myron.
Nobody
Okay, I'm not asking you like in terms of the debate. You call yourself the Godfather of the Red Pill.
I
You
call myself the Godfather of the Manosphere, okay? Other people have called me that.
Okay, great. That's
Got it?
very
Do you understand?
okay. So as that,
Godfather or grandfather of the man? Which one is it?
whatever it is, the old guy of the Manosphere.
Grandfather.
What is your definition of high value man? This is the #1 talked about topic on all of these shows. So I want to get a clear definition from you. What is it?
You tell, again, it depends on the person.
Yikes! Yikes!
Ooh, he's getting bad.
It's getting
Yeah,
bad,
getting bad,
dog.
And I'm
My
telling you
God,
why he can't
my
answer.
G, what are
'Cause
you
when
doing?
it will not hold up to scrutiny.
What are you
His
doing?
core belief will not hold up to basic criticism.
See, here's the thing: is you guys want me to say, okay, a high value man makes $100,000 a year. He's fucked 50 chicks.
No, we want you to give your
your
definition.
answer.
Oh my God. The problem is he's pretending like there's infinite definitions. It just depends on what you value. But if that was true, look back at the tweet. That's not.
Bro, I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna say a lot of times when guys like that are under heat, bro, they acting like the females who they criticize every day, bro. And I'm not making excuses for, cause some of the stuff they say is wild, bro. But you are acting like the thing that you preach so much against, bro. But I digress.
What the
Let's keep
tweet
watching.
communicated. Your tweet communicated there was an ideal high value man, and this is how you aspire to it. And one of them was cutting your dick. So we're asking
snip.
the big. How is it like, bro? This is like.
This is a very. I mean, but again, I refuse to believe that he's this dumb. He's not. He's this
dodging
dumb.
purposefully.
He's dodging purposely, which is why this is even more problematic. This is a part of the grift. This is something very fundamental to what they believe in.
Also, if what you're instead of finding out that your core beliefs don't hold up to scrutiny, the purpose of the red pill absolves. It ceases to exist if this is truly how you feel. If you truly believe a high value man just exists based on your definition, then I think high value men should be obese and 700 pounds. And I think they should be broke and live in their mom's house. That's my definition. And I'll give you the 8 tips on how to do it. You can have your own tips, but at that point, it has no meaning for nobody, dumbass nigga.
Okay, now let's stop. Think about this very carefully. Do they not then criticize women for doing the exact same thing? When women coming,
I can get up. Did I not just say that? The same thing. Look, I respect people standing on their belief and being able to articulate them in a manner. And right now, he's looking very, very fugazi, bro. Very
this podcast,
fugazi.
and they sitting there and they try to explain how they value themselves and how men have to accept them for what they are. Is he not basically saying the exact same thing?
I just
Facts.
said.
'Cause they'll say men decide what they value from
Exactly.
women. If that is the case, then the women should really be deciding on average what they value in men. And so the
Exactly.
men they seek the most is what's considered high value. I don't
Thank
even
you.
like the term because doesn't make you a good human at all. It just means that you're most desired by women.
You know, I think
But
Kevin
you
Samuels
can't
said
even
that
make these points
one
because
time too.
you
Something
suck at
similar to what
arguing
Agent
and
just
you're
said.
in a room full of people that argue a lot and for a living and you're crumbling under the pressure. You made the red pill look like it shouldn't deserve to exist anymore.
Not even, that's the problem. He's doing such a bad job. He's making it as if like the whole ideology
Is bad.
shouldn't even exist, bro. It's not bad. If your argument is it doesn't matter what I think, it's all based off of your own personal beliefs, and that what's the purpose of anything that we're doing then? But again, that still doesn't make any sense because like he said, forget the vasectomy part. In your tweet, you said one of the quickest ways to become high value man is to consistently lift in terms of like getting muscle on, right? What if my perception of a high value man is to not have muscle? I can just be a fat slob, 700 pounds. That's my concept of a high value man. So again, it's still contradicting. There's clearly an ideal of what a high value man is to you because you outline things that would get you to that point.
And the reality
So what are we
of
saying?
what's happening is we have found people on the internet, men and women alike, who have found a way to monetize the loneliness and
Yeah.
the overall
Bro.
frustration that a lot of men have been feeling. Because it fucking sucks to feel like you're not desired.
Yes.
It sucks to feel like you
Bruh.
can't attract the type
Hey,
of
you
woman
preaching
that you
right
want.
now.
And so a new section of the internet has spawned to help assist these people. And even if some people in that sphere had good intentions, there's grifters like this nigga who will sit there and tell
Like
you that
this
you have to
nigga.
watch
Oh, boy,
every
he
piece
did.
of his content to understand his ideology.
you got
are
my book
proof-
there. You got my book there. You didn't read
Yeah,
my
yeah,
book.
Did you read my PDF
Clearly
online?
didn't read
Did you
my
read the
book.
ebook too? I got an ebook.
Take the time out to buy and read my book, and then we can get back to this conversation.
In all reality, you proved to us during the length of this call here, during this podcast, that the things that you believe, you don't even believe.
Bro, These men get in front of ill-informed and uneducated, non-prepared women, slam dunk on them, and now all of a sudden they make themselves feel good in a room full of other and niggas in the chat who also just want to make themselves feel good. But as soon as they get some form of pushback, how quickly things start to crumble apart because they haven't even thought about it. Like, there's no actual contextualization of their own content, their own ideology, to the point where you can't even answer a simple question like this. But the biggest reason why I even thought that the tweet was cringe and why it sounds even cringier now, especially talking about the quickest way. Bro, there's no quick way, bro. I'm gonna let y'all know right now, there's no quick way.
You might get lucky, it might happen fast, but on average, you get good to get lucky.
Yes.
It's rare that you get lucky before you get good.
There's no quick way. You're gonna have to build and grow. There's gonna be mistakes made along the way. Try to manage those mistakes, but the mistakes will build you into a better person anyway. Forget men, this is a person in a general sense. You learn and you grow along the way in the path of life that will allow you to get to the point where you need to be, and all the mistakes you made along the way will allow you to sustain that level of excellence. So you're going to make the mistakes. You're going to make wrong decisions. You're going to have to grow, but that growth is a part of the process. It's a part of what makes you the high value man, woman, individual, person, whatever. So this idea that I can get a quick way around it, the reason why Sneako and them were so persistent on pushing back on the idea of getting a vasectomy is because of the discipline that comes along with you not fucking around and having kids at an early age is a discipline that you will need moving forward when it comes to raising those children. Yo, with that being said, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you want,
that's the one, bro. The ending point, perfect. I'll just gonna touch on that before he did. If you cannot practice deep discipline, and the thing about it, getting a vasectomy is null and void if you go out there and get AIDS, bro. Like, what's the point of getting a vasectomy? You out there banging chicks, you know what I'm saying, raw deezy, and then you pop up with the AIDS, bro. You pop up with something you can't get rid of, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't make any sense. All Rolo had to do was go in there and say, well, look, I might have been a little extreme, and I probably should have said practice dick discipline instead of that. And I'm gonna backtrack that. It ain't nothing wrong with, like, a lot of times these people get caught up, bro. It's nothing wrong with being wrong sometimes. The problem comes in when you can't admit that you're wrong. Like, I got this channel, this channel is new, this shit is new to me. I'm gonna fuck up a lot of times. And when I do, I'm gonna be like, man, look, my bad, I fucked up. That was my fault. I didn't know, or I wasn't educated on that, or I was ignorant to this, or whatever. I ain't got no issue with that. But if you following a YouTuber and they cannot admit when they're wrong, you need to stop following that YouTube. There's nothing wrong with being wrong sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that you get to the point where people feel like everything they say is gospel. You know what I'm saying? Everything they say is number one, you know? And but like, if you following a guy like Rolo or whoever, and they have never been able to actually say that they are wrong in the situation, you're probably following the wrong person. Just keeping it a buck. Discipline is super important. Don't be sticking your stick. Don't be sticking your stick inside of every hole. You know what I'm saying? I remember growing up, one of my homeboys was trying to tell me, you know what I'm saying, every woman got a hole, bro. You just gotta go out there and get your shovel to dig it out. Like, bro, nah, bro. Even before then, they used to bust out all kind of female, but all of y'all crazy. And not me. Not me, but you know, to each his own, Sometimes they just, you might want to get off. But look, don't be raw deezy in these. Don't be raw deezy, bro. I watched a short just a few minutes ago. I think it's going viral, bro. Like, this woman out here giving people all kind of stuff, bro. She named like 10 to 15 people, husbands and wives and shit. And she was talking about how she gave all of them the clap. They need to get her ass for that. But she was talking about how she gave all of them the clap. I was like, bro, you cold, bro. They need to do something about it. And she knew she had the clap. Ain't like she didn't know. You know what I'm saying? They got to be a charge, bro. It's a charge for that, but I can't think of what it is. Either way, man. Either way, the vasectomy shit is crazy. The entirety of that situation was crazy, very cringe. He was acting it just like the women who they portray who they go against on these shows. And in all totality, it just shows you how people who promote the most and promote all this accountability stuff cannot do it themselves. So they don't stand on what they stand. They don't stand on the very thing they preach to people to do. Anyways, man, that's my thoughts and opinions on the entire situation. Let me know what y'all think down below. I think they did an excellent job breaking it down. I didn't disagree with anything they said. I think Playback that usually does a pretty good job. I think it was a couple videos, and either like they were kind of split. It was like a video I might have agreed with one and not the other, but they was in agreement on this time. They did a great job. I'll see y'all in the next video.